Hello, how are you? Today I've put together a list for you of the 6 foods that make you bloat more than you might think. These foods make you retain water, gain weight suddenly, and you probably didn't realize just how much they contribute to your bloating. You're going to love finding out which foods these are, and I'll even give you some alternatives you can use instead. Stay with me until the end. You won't want to miss it. If you love videos about nutrition, health, and fitness, you're going to love this channel. Go ahead and subscribe, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you get all the updates. I post new videos every day. You're going to love them. A lot of people have asked me to talk more about foods that make us feel bloated. That bloating is really annoying. Many women get bloated during the premenstrual period. A lot of people also feel bloated when it's hot. Many people get bloated after traveling, after taking a flight, or after eating poorly. I'm going to tell you specifically what in your diet can make all of this worse. If you already get bloated in these situations, what will make it worse and how to avoid it. If you like these videos about bloating, how to improve and manage it, leave a like so I know you enjoyed it and I'll make more videos like this. And tell me if you're someone who gets bloated and in what situation you feel the most bloated in your daily life. I'd love to see your comment here and I'll bring more ideas and tips to help you. The first food on our list is that processed 2-minute noodle, like instant ramen. But that instant noodle where you boil the water, put the noodles in, mix it up, 2 minutes, 3, then you add that packet full of sodium and eat it. Of course, the packet itself is already packed with sodium, as I mentioned. Many times it also contains monosodium glutamate, but the amount of salt of sodium in there is extremely high. We always hear that salt makes us retain water, so ideally, you shouldn't add too much of it to your food. Many people think they don't use much salt, but they eat a lot of processed foods, like the instant noodles I just mentioned. So that packet by itself is terrible for your bloating, but the noodles themselves, the instant noodle pasta, are also very bad for causing bloating because they contain a carbohydrate with a very high glycemic index, which greatly contributes to bloating. And besides that, it's already pre-fried. I have an entire video talking more about instant noodles. I don't know if you've seen it. I'll leave it down below in the description for you. Remember that the difference in cooking time between instant noodles and regular pasta is usually just 5 minutes. Instant noodles are ready in 3 minutes, while regular pasta usually takes about 8 minutes. Whole wheat pasta sometimes takes a bit longer, around 10 minutes, but remember that while the pasta is cooking, you can do other things. You don't have to just stand there watching the pot waiting for the pasta to cook. So get organized, choose a higher quality pasta, add more fiber, add protein, healthy fats to lower its glycemic index. That way, it will be a much better option and will make you feel much less bloated than instant noodles. The second item on the list isn't even really a food, but I included it here because we consume it, so it has to be considered soda. Soda has a bad combination when it comes to bloating. First, it's very high in sugar, and this excess sugar will increase the amount of glycogen in your body, in your muscles, throughout your system, and that retains more fluid. That's one point. Second, it's also very high in gas. It's a carbonated drink, it contains carbon dioxide, and that gas also causes bloating in your abdominal area. So, it bloats your stomach, makes your belly swell, and causes that overall bloating from the higher amount of sugar in your blood, making you feel more bloated in general and puffing up your belly as well. Different types of bloating that will worsen your appearance and also affect your sense of well-being. This also applies to diet sodas. Many times, diet sodas contain low-quality sweeteners that are very high in sodium. So sometimes it's sodium cyclamate or another type of sodium-based sweetener. So it's very important that you check the label and obviously use soda as little as possible in your life. Remember that I have a video here talking about what happens when you drink diet soda every day? I'll leave it down below in the description. A good alternative if you don't like drinking water, because water is the best drink to fight bloating. But a good alternative can be those flavored waters. I have a recipe for them here on the channel. I'll leave it for you down below in the description in a playlist. They're tasty, calorie-free waters that can encourage you to drink more fluids and help fight bloating. Another food that makes people very bloated and they don't realize it in their daily lives is white bread. When I say white bread, I mean that French roll, that small baguette. I don't know what you call it. Tell me what it's called in your city. But I'm talking about that white bread. It's not necessarily because of the salt content, which actually isn't that high. The real issue is the large amount of high glycemic carbohydrates it contains. One of these rolls can have up to 40 grams. And of course, when we think about sliced bread or any other type of bread that isn't whole grain, it's going to have the same impact. But the thing is, this warm, soft bread is very easy for someone to eat 2 of them sometimes. Or to eat one and then add even more filling with other things that also make you feel more bloated. I'll even talk about some of those things here later. So remember that white bread by itself also increases the amount of hepatic and muscular glycogen, making you feel more bloated and causing your body to retain more fluid. besides increasing your feeling of hunger, making you eat more as well. So it's not a good option. Remember that I have a playlist here on the channel with many bread recipes and many quick and practical options for you to replace bread in your daily routine. There are lots of options there. Muffins, healthy bread, omelets, quick skillet breads, microwave breads. I'll leave everything down below in the description for you. Just to make it very clear, when I say that a bread can have 40 grams, it's 40 grams of carbohydrates, not weight. So just in one of those breads, you can have the same amount of carbohydrates as a large, shallow plate of pasta, just so you understand. So as you can see here, it's a really significant amount of carbohydrates, which has a big impact on your bloating. Another food on our list is the cream cracker. That's because besides having a lot of carbohydrates, just as much as white bread, comparatively speaking. Basically, it has a lot of high glycemic index carbohydrates, and on top of that, there's a bad combo. It has a lot of salt, a lot of added sodium, it's industrialized, ultra-processed, and contains a lot of fat. A lot of people start dieting and swap bread for cream crackers, thinking they're making the right choice. They eat 3 or 4 cream crackers instead of bread. Those 4 are equivalent to the same thing as a piece of bread, just so you know, and sometimes they don't make you feel very full, so it's actually very easy to end up eating even more than 4. So keep in mind that they can also significantly contribute to overall bloating. By the way, I have a playlist of healthy cookies and crackers here on the channel. It includes plenty of quick homemade options that are super easy to make. I'll leave the link down below in the description for you. Another type of food that greatly contributes to bloating and to the accumulation of fluids and weight in the body are those processed, smoked, cured, and salted meats. Mortadella, salami, sausage, dried beef, sun-dried beef. Many times, sun-dried beef also has added salt, which is why I mentioned it. So these are meats that will make you bloat more because of the high concentration of sodium they naturally contain. And in the case of these industrialized ones, which naturally contain nitrates, this will make you even more bloated. So ideally, you should avoid consuming these processed, industrialized foods as much as possible. Remember that I have a homemade mortadella recipe here on the channel. I have a homemade sausage recipe, super healthy, they're delicious, and I'll leave them down below in the description for you as well. And there's no way to finish this list without mentioning beer. Beer is also a combo for bloating. First, because alcohol has a mechanism where it first dehydrates the body and then it makes you retain fluid. That's why people who drink a lot wake up the next day with a puffy face, can't take off their ring, those classic things, and a really bloated belly. In the case of beer, it also makes you usually drink a larger volume than with other beverages. If you compare, it's very easy when you go to a barbecue or a party to drink several beers, several glasses or bottles, and those who drink wine, whiskey, or a cocktail usually have just 1 or 2, much less overall. So beer is something you keep drinking without even realizing it. It really stretches your stomach, ferments a lot, produces a lot of gas. So there's also that issue of bloating, which soda also causes, that more bloated look in the abdomen, in addition to the calories. Beer is one of the alcoholic beverages with the most calories. Besides that, remember that when you drink alcohol, your inhibitions go down and you end up eating more high-calorie foods. For example, snacks, peanuts, bologna, salty cheese. So keep in mind that this combo is really bad. If you want to reduce bloating, cutting out alcoholic beverages, especially beer, will help you a lot. Also, remember that saying from Germany that beer is liquid bread. So there's a lot of carbohydrates, there's gluten, it bloats your abdomen, especially if you're more sensitive to gluten, and this amount of carbohydrates will also make you feel bloated because of the carbs. So tell me, which of these foods are you going to stop consuming or cut down on as much as possible to fight your bloating? And if you do anything to try to reduce bloating in your daily life, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Remember to like the video if you enjoyed it, because that really helps me out. Share it with anyone who might like it or needs it. Let's spread this chain of good together. That's what I want here on the channel. See you next time. Bye.